Scandalous. Now I see where Kim Clune gets her rebel attitude from. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cancer YouTubers Updates. We had a busy week, I gotta tell you. Okay, first we have a Kim Clune update. This week, Kim was supposed to have her third treatment, but they're delaying it another week because she's having some problems with her breathing. She's actually easily winded. So she's going to get an echocardiogram soon to check her heart. And she said her vitals seem to be fine, but whatever's going on is making her sit in the house all day. So the plan is to change the 3-week treatments to every 4 weeks. And while she's waiting, she's been looking at Ancestry.com. I never find that a waste of time. Kim found out that her grandfather was arrested for serving alcohol in his bar during Prohibition. Scandalous. Now I see where Kim Clune gets her rebel attitude from. If it were my grandfather, I'd be very, very proud, actually. Anyway, she's upset that they have to wait, but it was probably a good call from the doctor, and she knows it. She said she's afraid to have the treatment, and she's afraid not to have the treatment. I'm sure that must be very frustrating, because if it were me, I'd probably be like, okay, the clock is ticking, and I need to be in Alaska soon. From my understanding, there are supposed to be 2 trips. The first one was going to be this week for the Hooligan Run, which is a fish migration that supports a lot of wildlife, including sea lions, otters, and many shorebirds. It's very interesting though, by the way. And yes, I did look that up because we're a learning channel, don't you know? Unfortunately, because it is this week, it's a problem. Tim's knee replacement has not been healing quite as fast as they'd hoped. And with Kim getting so easily winded, they decided it was best to cancel that. But I have faith Kim will make it back to Alaska yet. And there is some solid good news. Her tumor markers dropped another 40 points. That's 80 points in 6 weeks, by the way. So even with side effects, it really seems that the cancer is responding to the Enhertu treatments. That's fabulous news. She also covers an issue they had with one of the doggos. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Everything's okay now, though. I love Newfies. I've never really spent a lot of time with one. I always have wanted to, but a lot of people don't have them because they're so big. And she shows us this new gadget, too, for headaches, which she's been dealing with as far as side effects of her treatment. Personally, I'm interested in looking into it. It's not a sponsorship, by the way. She wants us to know that, not that I would care. Anyway, this video is a must-see for yourself. I always love hearing from Kim. Let's move on to Caitlin, Cancer Chronicles. This week, Caitlin checked in with us, talking about her crazy life with 5 active kids and her cancer journey on top of it. She definitely burns the candle at both ends. She's always running around like a soccer mom. I'm not so sure how she does it all. Among other things, her oldest son returns from Japan, and she shares some of the video footage that he sent to her. It looks like he and his friends really had a good time. I mean, you know, you're going to Japan, why wouldn't you, right? Caitlin says not all of her kids want to be on video sometimes, but I don't think Neon would ever. So she's kind of lucky there. She also shares spending a day with her daughter, and they had a really busy day. Her daughter's really cute too. They went to go see cats and a myriad of other things. I mean, you have to see it. I'm exhausted just watching it, really. Just exhausted. Caitlin, I don't know how you do that. Oh, by the way, there's a lizard. It's called a goanna, and it got into their house. It was so big, but he was also kind of cute too. I mean, he wasn't Komodo dragon big, but he was good size. You need to go see that. And she had another treatment day that was also an adventure. I don't know how she does that either. But I'm so glad that she continues to enjoy her life at the pace that she does. That's what I want to do, minus the 5 kids, of course. I thought I might want to pet a goanna though, but Caitlin straightened me out on that. She told me they can be pretty nasty, the critters. So never mind. Let's go on to Can Ramblers. This was a tough week. They learned that Nancy has weeks, not months. In Steve's Walking and Talking Tuesday video, he gives a lot of detail about how Nancy's behaviors are changing, sleeping more, short-term memory, etc. One of their sons was visiting and basically had to make his goodbye this time extra special before he left for Missouri. And just the way that Steve described it, it just hit home for me. He also talks about how great hospice has been. Shout out to anybody who works for hospice or volunteers. It's a great organization. In the next video that he uploaded on Thursday, well, it's the one I've been waiting for. High tea. Nancy got her hair cut, her makeup done, her nails did. She was all dolled up. She looked great, and she looked like she felt great. The women in the family brought this tea together, and you get to meet Steve's sister. They look alike. The food looked amazing. The setting was elegant. It really did look like a tea for a queen. It was. They all seemed to have a great time. Thanks for sharing that, Steve and Nancy. This was a memory worth making. On to Bill Imler. This week, Bill was talking about going to physical and occupational therapy, and he talks about Sheldon, who's been going there for the past 2 years due to a car accident. Sheldon apparently knows just about everyone who goes there and shares stories about all the people he's met along the way. I have a feeling Sheldon's quite the jaw wagger. Bill says there's some very inspirational stories, and I have no doubt about it. When I had physical therapy for my shoulder last year, I met a few people in there in the brief time that I was there who were overcoming some pretty big obstacles. Bill starts talking about some crazy days of his own, including a car accident that by all accounts he shouldn't have survived. But everything happens for a reason, and maybe his cancer will be no different. There were also fires and explosions, and I mean, it's been a lot for one person. So you need to go hear these stories for yourself. There was also a very important message from Bill in this video, and it happens to many of us. Apparently, he found out that some people in his circle have held back on their own life struggles because of Bill's cancer. I can't tell you how many times I've said, "Why didn't you tell me?" And the reply is usually, "You're already going through enough, and I didn't want to worry you." If you're one of those people, yeah, it's not something you need to compare. No two struggles are exactly the same, even if you have the same disease. But people love you and really want to know regardless. I know I do. Anyway, Bill brought a good talking point up. Now, as far as what's going on with him, the biggest issue he's dealing with right now is the use of his arm and some of the trouble he has walking. I do hope the therapy is helping. I'm glad he has that support. I went through about a vertigo for 3 months after my first round of chemo 25 years ago. I had it for 3 months. They thought I had a stroke at first, and I used a cane, but I worked through it. I keep that cane just as a reminder that many challenges can be overcome. Bill also had a recent chemo treatment that apparently went well, and he offered some sound advice that I think we should all hear. And that is, keep your sugar intake low and keep your body moving. I never had a doctor advise that, but it makes a lot of sense. And this is just my humble opinion, but I think many doctors don't think about what will make something easier for a cancer patient to get through. They only have one goal, and that's to fight the cancer. That's why we support each other through experience. And I'm very grateful for YouTube in that way, that we can all come together. Anyway, Bill also shares how he challenges himself. It's very inspiring. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate that. Okay, Daily Kenji. I don't know about this kid. I call him a kid, but I'm 63. He's like 41. Kenji checked in from the Trump Hotel in Vegas, Trump Hotel, where he was getting some R&R. After complaining last time about how uncomfortable he felt in a 5-star hotel, well, here we go again. He's got the same complaints. So why not go to a 4-star hotel? It seems like he needs to prove he's worthy somehow of fancy stuff because of the way he grew up. If he's not enjoying it, it makes no sense to me. He does bring up some interesting points about his father having been frugal all his life, and I get that. But just because you can doesn't mean you need to. That's like wasting money on an illusion, in my opinion. I like to try new things, but if it doesn't make me feel like my authentic self, then I won't be trying that again. Whether it's something fancy or whether it's really down in the dirt, Kenji is certainly worthy of it. But if the shoe doesn't fit Kenji, it ain't your shoe. It wasn't in the video, but I did want to share a community tab post. And I don't really read the community tab posts very often, but I just happened to see it. And he had just had his 3rd ablation. And now he only has one more. One more to go. I'm really happy about that. Hopefully he'll upload soon and tell us how uneventful it was as far as complications. And I'm really rooting for this guy. Okay, now let's go on. I can't just look away. It's like a car accident, I'm rubbernecking the whole way. And because of that, it's Eke Acres time. All right, let's dive into this because I'm confused. Kevin seems to be back to doing reviews, and I'm glad to see that because he enjoys that. But the products aren't really geared for this girly girl, so I'm not watching those. But there was just one video after another this week. Like he's really trying to bring in the bacon, I guess. And it was all different topics. There are 2 in particular crazy videos, though, that we need to talk about. But first, let me share Kevin's good news. He got the urine and blood results back, and they came back negative. So that's fabulous. So a normal CT DNA blood test means that it's not circulating in the blood at this time. It doesn't mean he doesn't have cancer. My latest test was negative, and I still have cancer. So it's good news for sure, but I don't think he fully understands this. And his viewers may not understand this either. And I don't know what his last urine test looked like. I don't know if it was in the urine or not. But honestly, the scans are going to mean much more to me. I want to see the absence of tumors. And I think he has that particular scan in a few days. Which leads me back to these crazy videos he posted last week. If you saw them, you know what I mean. Let's start with the one called I Need All of Your Help. In this 6.5-minute upload, he says he wants to be a voice, a testimony to his home remedy, Ivermectin. He asks all of his viewers to reach out to a doctor in the UK who has a health channel on YouTube. And while it's not what he's all about, he does believe in this animal dewormer. Kevin's goal is for this doctor to interview Kevin and reveal all of his test results on his show. Mind you, he hasn't even had his scans yet. Now, don't get me wrong. I hope the scans are so clean that my jaw is left hanging open. I really do. I want the best for him. But if this doctor interviews him without the scans, I'll be scratching my head instead. Some of his viewers also thought the same, like that it was a little premature. But you'd be amazed how many followers are willing to reach out to this doctor. You can be sure, though, regardless of the outcome, I will let you know how it unfolds. On to video number 2. It's called They Have Never Gotten Anything Correct. Now, this is actually Kevin unhinged and cringed. This is an 8-minute rant about the Cancer Institute he used to go to. He pointed out that he's had some admin issues with them. Like he got the wrong paperwork and, stuff happens. But the bulk of this video is about reversing the information in the to and from area on a letter that they sent him asking for a donation. It happens, right? He holds this letter up for the camera and explains this like 15 times in a row in an 8-minute video. Yeah, unhinged and cringe. I was a little surprised he kept the video up, to be honest with you. And I'm starting to worry about him. I think I'll just let you go see that. Now, sometimes I make videos more than once, like the same video. So today is my birthday of taping this Friday. Thank you. I can't believe I'm still here. I just feel so blessed. But this morning I was in a hurry because we went to Harrisburg by train, and I wanted to get that done, and I wasn't so crazy about it. So I thought I'll redo it when I get back. So I'm back. And I noticed on the train that Kevin had uploaded another video. And I think that I'm going to take advantage of that to at least, say something about it. This is about him addressing the fact that people still don't believe he had cancer and that's why his test results are good. Well, I don't know. I believe he has cancer or had cancer. I'm not sure which way we're going to go yet, but he's done a lot to prove that he's got cancer. You remember when they were moving and he pulled out the folder that of his medical records. He showed page after page after page. He went on a little rant there. I don't know, that would have been a lot to make up. A lot of paperwork that he would have had to actually make. And it was a folder this big. And if that wasn't convincing enough, when he went this last time to the doctor to actually have the tests ordered, he took his camera. He filmed in the doctor's office. He showed us the doctor's office. We listened to the conversation. That's a lot to fake. And on top of that, he would have made up this rant video that he just made about the Cancer Institute sending him a request for a donation. Come on. I'm going to give him that break. I definitely don't think he's faking cancer. There's just too much evidence against that. And I'm really looking forward to those scan results, because I'm not beyond eating humble pie when I need to. I'm certainly willing to do that. And I'd like to do that. I think the conclusion I would make is that perhaps this does work for some cancers. I would still prefer to see traditional clinical trials, though, and not studies made from the people who make the stuff. Okay? I'm just kind of a show me girl. So that's that. And I also wanted to let you know that the next Spotlight episode will maybe be next week. It might be the week after, but I'm planning on introducing somebody to you, maybe two. If I have the time, we'll get two in here so we can cover more people. And I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, thank you so much for the comments that you gave me in the last Spotlight with Steve and Nancy. That was a great interview, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.